Chairman, and Mr. Minich, Commissioner Pryor, thank you very much for testifying. As usual, you've done a nice job at clearing things up and taking a little bit of the panic out of it, for me at least. But you know, I don't think there's any question that we can all agree that enhancing the teaching of critical thinking and high order thinking skills is necessary. Standards are not in question. The feedback that I get from constituents is circulating around problems in flawed implementation, and in the opinion of the folks that I speak to in the field, transparency on the part of you know, parents. So you know, you're talking about polling numbers in the 73% range of you know, of agreement with teachers, and pardon me, because this is going to be a compound question. You know, I'm wondering, and this is theoretical or hypothetical, unless you've got an answer to it, have we bothered to poll the parents? Because for the most part, you know, within the community, there are a lot of frightened, a lot of intimidated, a lot of disenfranchised feeling people that have their children coming home terrified of tests, and they don't have an understanding of the process, nor do they have an understanding of the years of preparation that have gone into the process. So what are we doing to engage the community? And then the compound part of it is, for goodness sake, why am I hearing from dozens of teachers with concerns about the implementation? Again, not about the standards, about the implementation, and again, disenfranchisement and fear on the part of teachers about the speed at which we're moving, and perhaps, you know, us having done a really crummy job managing expectations, if nothing else. So I know that we've got some more detailed questions, but I just thought, you know, from a flavor standpoint, I want you to know that there are people out there that just don't understand what the intention is, and they're very, very, very frightened by this.
Yeah. So first off, I agree that so standards in this country hadn't traditionally been a controversial thing. Like we had done them before. When I was in Oregon when we set our last standards in the state of Oregon, we tried to get media coverage on it, and it was very hard. This has no problem getting media coverage now. So I will say to you that I think you've hit on the heart of the challenge. So I do have a number on parents. It's still above 50%. The latest poll nationally that I saw is around 60%. And then it gets even higher once we explain what the standards are. So part of this engagement process and being open to a conversation among our peers and beyond the education community is really important. And I do worry about the tests when they come in, that they will be harder. And I think that's going to be a challenge, and we've got to begin talking about that, because we've still got time here in Connecticut. The commissioner's done an excellent job of sort of timing this out so that consequences don't hit until people have had time to adjust. But again, I would state we started this process 7 years ago, and then the standards were released almost 4 years ago now. We've got to figure out as a community how many more sets of graduates we want to let go through the system. How many more years can we delay before we feel like, okay, well, it's probably time for us to have these standards in place? So that's a conversation for people in Connecticut to have, not for me, but I think that is the question that you should be driving at. So appreciate your question.